Welcome to the second episode of a closer look at the homeless in our city. I recently had the opportunity to sit down with Mike, an individual who has overcome the challenges of homelessness. His journey is a testament to strength and perseverance. Mike, I want to thank you so much for sharing your journey with me today.
It's my pleasure.
So Mike, how long did you experience homelessness and what was that experience like for you?
It was almost a year. I slept in my truck, and the experience was crazy. Actually, I came to Virginia for romance. Mm-hmm. A romance that didn't work out. Not wanting to go back where I came from. I found myself in the parking lot of Wawa's, out on Hampton Road in Virginia Beach. I think I stayed there for maybe like a day and a half, just trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm. Didn't have any money or anything to go back where I came from, actually. And I didn't know, I was like at wit's end. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I seen another guy that was standing out there, and just me communicating with people, going in to use the bathroom and things like that. He asked me, he was like, "Yo, guy, you going out towards Chesapeake? I want to go to the resource center." And so I said, "What goes on there?" He was like, "Man, you could just go there, get something to eat. You can take a shower, you can wash your clothes." He says, "Good people there, you know what I'm saying? Like, they help out a whole lot of homeless people." So, I took him there. I went on the inside, started talking to people, started, networking, trying to find out what was what. And then they was telling me, yeah, these people help you out. So for a good while, I was just going there daily, able to, to go in there and just a place where I know that, nobody's going to bother me. I'm just there, and I'm not out in the rain, or I'm not out in the cold. They were really, really important to me to get to the position that I'm in today.
All right.
Yeah. While I was there, they was telling me about the CAST program, which is the bus that comes.
The Chesapeake Area Shelter Team, right?
Yes.
The CAST, yes.
The CAST program. And we was at nighttime, they'll come pick you up on the bus. They'll take you to a church. The church feeds you, give you a place to sleep, and then bring you back the next morning. So I did that for a while. It was okay. I was appreciative of the things that I was getting, but I didn't really know where I was going to go at that point. Still trying to figure things out. I'm disabled, and it was kind of frustrating at times. I just wanted to give up and just say, the hell with it. Let me figure something else out, or other things. I had a lot of things going through my mind, a lot of mixed things going through my mind. I didn't want to go back to the dark side where I was on years before. I was involved with drugs and stuff, years before, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to give up, but I just knew that was, I said my prayers every day, and I just knew that something had to be better, So next door to the resource center, there's the Redevelopment Housing program, and I just happened to go in there one day. Well, I think it was like the third day I was there. I actually went on the inside, talking to the people there, and then they was telling me, "Hey, listen, we're gonna have the vouchers for Section 8 that's coming up for the homeless. It's just for the homeless." And I was like, wow, okay. So me and a couple of people that I had met that's there daily, going through the same struggles that I'm going through, they was like, "Hey, we're gonna fill out these things." So we fill out the applications, and the staff that's at the center, they're real helpful. So actually, Mr. Kamalate, he sat down and talked to me, and Dominique and a few more people there. They actually, just sat down and was like, "Listen, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do things, and if you do this, these things."
So it was helpful to have somebody there to guide you, because if they hadn't have been, how difficult would that have been?
Well, I wouldn't know what to do and how to go about doing it. I would have just been like ad-libbing it and trying to figure things out on my own.
What advice would you give someone in your situation who may be faced with those challenges to go down a different road that may not be that helpful for them in the long run?
Only thing I could just say, for me, I pray a lot, you know what I mean? So I would say, try to reach out to your higher power. Try to find something that's tangible in your life that you can say that, okay, today I made this much progress, whether it's just filling out a couple forms or submitting an application or whatever. So each little process and each little step that you go through, you're covering more ground. And for me to tell somebody else that, it was like, that's the only thing that I had. That was my hope.
Right.
You know what I mean? That, okay, today I did this. I'm scheduled for an appointment on this day. So once I get to that day, that's another hurdle that I've met and, accomplished. So don't miss any appointments. You must be, at your appointments and do everything you're supposed to do.
Right.
If you do these things, these people see that you're actually taking an initiative to do what they're telling you to do. You're following their directions. You're doing everything that you need to do for you. Just not to give up. Think about all the small things. One of my prayers is that thank you, Father, for all of my blessings, big and small.
Can you talk about the stigma that may be associated with being homeless? What did you experience?
I experienced a lot of different things, man. Some people see that homeless people and they think, here's this worthless piece of whatever. They're not bad people. They just fell on bad times. And the stereotype is that, these people don't want anything in life. They're no good. If I give them money, they're just going to go and buy drugs. And that's not the case with everyone.
Right.
Sure, some of them is like that. Yes, I can understand that. But everybody is not like that.
Right. So, Mike, we are sitting in your house.
Yes.
And you've been in it for a few weeks. Tell me, how does that feel?
Oh, man. I mean, like, the first day when my landlord called me over and he actually handed me the key and I opened the door, I'm like, oh, my God. It was amazing. I can't even really describe it because, I was just so happy. I was kind of like overwhelmed. I came on the inside and I looked around. Nothing's in here, but I'm in here. And then the day that he called me and he says, Mike, can you meet me over at the place? And I was standing outside and he was like, here you go, buddy.
Wow.
And he handed me a set of keys. And
that had to be an amazing feeling. I know. No, I'm right there with you. I am. And so can you talk about maybe some of your aspirations, even if they're long term? What are your aspirations?
Well, actually, I'm a writer. During a period of when I was incarcerated at a point, I started writing. I started writing poetry, and from there I wrote 3 books, 3 novels. Nothing is published yet, but that's one of my long time goals. Now that I have my a little room here that I call my office, I have my computer there. I just got to get my Wi-Fi. I want to get back into typing up my manuscripts. Hopefully find a publisher or something like that, or someone that could help support me to get those endeavors. That's what I want to work on. My poetry speaks about my thoughts, my feelings, the things that I dealt with growing up. My housing situation, my mother being deceased when I was real young. A lot of different things that went on in my life. Through my dark period, through my drug addiction days. I write about all of that. That's the way I can express myself and get my emotions out and everything. I do it on paper. Also, I do HIV and AIDS awareness classes. I used to. I want to go back and do that. Hopefully I can maybe one day go to the center and be able to go and give a seminar, a presentation or something like that. I want to be able to also be in a position to help other people. I mean, I'm so blessed and I'm so humble for the people that I met, doing this struggle, doing this journey. But it's made me a stronger person. It made my faith increase, because like I said, I had a couple days that I just wanted to give up. I didn't want to do anything. So I am so blessed. I have this place. People still are helping me. They're helping with furniture. They're helping me with food. And it's just been, like I say, a humbling experience. Whereas that I look at people and I just say, I am so thankful. These people don't even know me, but they're willing to give me this, or they're willing to help me with this, or they help me with monetary things. And it's just a blessing to know that here in this country that there's still people, regardless of your situation, regardless of your ethnicity or anything like that, that people are still willing to help you. And that's one of the biggest things that I want to say, and I want to just say thank you for everybody that came in my past that was able to help me.
Mike, I want to thank you so much for joining me today and talking about your journey. You are truly an inspiration.
Thank you, Zana. My pleasure. I hope so. Thank you very much. All righty.
We would like to extend our gratitude to Mike for sharing his journey with us. May his story inspire others who may be facing similar challenges. Be sure to join us on our next episode with a roundtable discussion.
my own home, and it was such a great experience. Like I say, it's humbling.